do recommend these legends for anybody that's in denial. Lean towards the versatility
Mm-hmm.
because power application, which each ability is going to round out how much you're maximizing a legend's abilities.
Oh no, there's another squad attacking.
Now, the final category, we have the versatile legends, and these are the highest scores. This
Versatility
is
equals
quite the
power.
group. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we've been saying it for a while. The breaking of each of these categories is definitely a little bit soft on terms of
For sure.
objectivity. But we start at the bottom of this category being Valkyrie, then Loba, Bangalore, Pathfinder, Bloodhound, Gibraltar, and Octane. These are the highest scores based off this metric and really going to be the most versatile because when you think about it, they're going to be applicable to the most amount of phases. They're going to have the most amount of power in each of their abilities, and their abilities are going to be the easiest to use overall.
Mm-hmm.
So, out of any of these categories, this is probably the one to pay the most attention to be honest.
Yeah, and when we look at the scoring breakdown of these, it is that usability that separates a lot of these from the rest of the pack, rest of the other legends that we've talked about already. And that's a really important thing for Apex. I just mentioned that you can take the time to master something, but if you can also just, get something right out of the box, fresh and new, and have a lot of easy success with it, that's a really nice reason to stick with a certain legend for sure.
Absolutely. I think that Octane, Bloodhound, and Bangalore have the highest like usability scores out of this entire analysis, and that is really what puts them in this category because just
Hmm.
like you said, you pick them up and it's pretty easy to unlock that power and apply it to each phase. So the usability is definitely the gatekeeper here.
Hmm.
But talking about some highlights here, Octane is the only legend that has a 3 in phase. You can just use every single one of his abilities anytime throughout the game, and you're going to get
Hmm.
meaningful power out of it, which is really interesting. Gibraltar, coming in at number 2 here, is the only legend to have a 3 in the power score. All 3 of his abilities are so powerful. And even though the ultimate isn't very applicable to the late or the early game, he still has a pretty high score on phase at 2.7. And then the usability, I think, is what pulls Gibraltar down a little bit, but he's still the second highest in the entire uh, analysis. So definitely 2 strong legends, the strongest in terms of this study. And then, like we said, Octane, Bloodhound, and Bangalore being some of the more approachable legends here at the top. Have to shout out the fact that Valkyrie is here. Definitely a
Hmm.
slept on legend, like we said. Loba is here. Definitely slept on. And then Pathfinder, might be a surprise here. Well, a lot of his power is concentrated into the grapple. Why is he not in the acute category? Well, it honestly comes down to the survey beacon.
Hmm.
Um, and so we see 3 recon legends here in the top. So
Hmm.
Bloodhound, Valkyrie, and Pathfinder. It's so hard to separate out the survey beacon. And to
Hmm.
be honest, it's why Crypto was on the upper end of the acute
Yeah.
legends. If he didn't have a survey beacon and was the best at scanning them, he would be really close to Mirage in terms
Yeah.
of uh, just that acute score, just because the passive has so much power in the survey beacon specifically.
Hmm. This is a really strong group.
Really, really strong group. And I think that if we think about it in terms of, okay, you're trying to pick a main, you
Hmm.
try to look at all the abilities objectively, put all these lenses on to come down to this set Octane, Gibraltar, Bloodhound, Pathfinder, Bangalore, Loba, and Valkyrie. You cannot go wrong.
Hmm. Hmm.
Honestly, you can't go wrong. And I do recommend these legends for anybody that's in denial. If maybe you're picking between one in this category versus another in a general or acute, lean towards the versatility, because power application, which each ability is going to round out how much you're maximizing a legend's abilities.
Boom! Whole squad down.
Hey, brother, not today. Maybe tomorrow.